Welcome to this Qigong practice. Welcome. This is Lift Qi Up, 4 Qi Down, and it was taught to me by Karen and Lou on the island of Hawaii at the KoKoLuLu Farm and Cancer Retreat Center. And this is a practice that my teachers there do every morning, 3 times, actually every morning. And when I was there, I was unable to walk at first, and I had crippling pain in my wrists and in my feet. And I did this practice every day, and it took me 3 hours to get through one cycle, which today we'll do in about 20, 30, 40 minutes. I'm going to aim for about 30. And in the 3 months that I was there practicing daily, I was moving through that cycles of flare-ups and pain, and I got to a point where I wasn't in any pain at all, which hadn't happened in many months for me at that point. And I was like, yay, I'm healed. And I stopped doing Qigong and all the pain came back. And I was with one of you that's on the call today, and so then I was coming to this realization that this is a practice I'm going to do every day. So I've done it every morning. And in the last 4 years since I first began, there's been other practices that have come in and integrated and supplemented and supported me in this journey. And it's still a daily, hourly, every minute, every breath I need to continue to check in with myself in the way that's possible for me when I do Qigong. And as I check in and as I stay in alignment with what I'm receiving, the information I'm receiving, I'm able to make decisions that allow me to not be in pain when I have the privilege and the opportunity to make those decisions in my life and believe that they're possible and that I deserve them. So we're going to start with the 8 phrases from Dr. Peng Ming, and this is setting the Qi field. So we're creating this energetic field that we're stepping into together. Everything I say is invitational, and the goal of the Qigong practice is for you to be in your body and with your body. So if at any point you're like, I need to lay down or sit or, exit the scene, like, let me know and I can pause and you can exit. And that's the most important thing, is for you to be listening and receiving information from your body. That's the goal, as opposed to following my invitations. So we're going to begin standing, and this practice at KoKoLuLu sometimes is done sitting or even laying down in the imagination, or just barely, for folks who have cancer, who have terminal illness, or who have different kinds of degenerative or autoimmune diseases. So it's accessible, and I'm framing it in this way where we're standing, which can be inaccessible to some people. So please know that it's very fluid and it can be done in whatever way feels good for your body. So if you're in any kind of sharp pain that's not necessary and is not needed, and you're welcome to adapt this, right? So there's no wrong way to do Qigong. There's only good, better, and best. So before we sing the 8 phrases, you're welcome to say out loud the names of any people you want to welcome in to the Qi field. You can say them out loud or in your mind. And you're welcome to repeat after me, singing these 8 phrases, setting the Qi field. Standing however is comfortable. Connecting with the earth and with the sky. 周天之地，轻松一种，我记忆。 Chi. Enzo Daiku. Shen Zhao. Shen Rong. Yo Shen Rong. Noticing the reverberations in the body. The feet, hips width apart. Toes facing forward, weight slightly towards the toes. Knees bent. Tailbone dropping down. The pelvic bowl tilting forward, just 1/4 of an inch, decompressing the lower back. Space between every vertebrae. Dropping the chin, opening the back of the neck, crown lifting into the heavens. Tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth, inviting that smile, if it would like to come, to start my internal love engine, as Master Chun Li says. The palms in front of the body facing the earth, moving forward and back. Noticing the sensation inside the palms. Relaxing all the organs. Noticing any places of tension. Seeing how they may just relax now. Scooping chi, holding chi in front of you, middle fingers pointing towards the lower dantian. Sending the chi deep into the center of the body. The palms come around the body, facing Mingmen, the space opposite side of the navel, the center of the lower back. Sending the chi into the lower dantian through Mingmen. Palms moving up, middle fingers pressing that bow. Few fingers under the armpit. Connecting with the middle dantian, the dantian of compassion, heart center. Elbows coming back, fingers moving forward, stretching out, lifting up to the level of the head, and the middle fingers point towards yin pan between the 2 eyebrows. Also called our third eye, where we begin to develop our psychic abilities. Palms facing the earth, coming out either side. Connecting with the electromagnetic field of the planet Earth. And scooping chi up, high into the sky, palms come together, stretching, slowly coming down the midline of the body. Blessing, whole body clean, clear, and bright. All functions are normal. Rotating the fingertips 9 times, collecting the chi. Inviting that smile, feeling blessed in this moment. Remembering alignment, feeling the opening. is the end of the opening form. And we begin part one. Fingertips stretching out into blue sky in front of you. Pinky, ring finger opening, triangle facing the ground. And tilting this triangle up, gently pushing out with the palms. This prism of light, refracting rainbows of healing from the edges of the universes into the center of your being. Tilting the triangle to shine this light into the whole body. Opening, pushing out, shoulder blades rolling back and down. Forward. Pushing out in front. Receiving. Like waves on the beach. The shoulder blades guiding the echoing movements of the shoulders and elbows, wrists and fingertips. Each of these movements can be repeated as many times as you like. And for now, we'll do each one 3 or 6 times. And pushing out, opening the palms, just one hand's width, closing, open, close. Open all the way out. Gently feeling that stretch. Relaxing the feet, knees, pelvis. Shifting the weight. And rolling the shoulder blades together and down and out. Pushing out. Up, together, down, and out. Connecting through time and space and redistributing energy to your past, present, and future selves. Supporting those phases of your being, and receiving support from other moments in your life. Moving the palms up and down, just one hand's width. Feeling the center of each palm open and engaged, gently activated. Lifting the chi straight up into blue sky, holding this orb of light high above you like the moon. When you are ready, allowing it to pour down the center of the body, washing the inside of the body clean, clear, and bright. All functions are normal. Middle fingers hesitating above the crown. Connecting with the crown. Blessing the brain with the palms of the hands. Center of each palm, Lao Gong, is a channel of energy. Relaxing all the little muscles in the face, the jaw, the throat and the shoulders, the heart, the lungs. Feeling inside of the body, the liver, kidneys, spleen, pancreas, bladder and gallbladder, Middle fingers pressing Duchi, the navel. Blessing the large intestine, small intestine, reproductive organs, even the appendix. If you'd like, you can say with me, to all my organs. Thank you for functioning harmoniously, symbiotically, and peacefully. And tracing the fingers around, gently pressing Mingmen, just opposite the navel, the small of the back. And when we do drop the tailbone a little bit, we open Mingmen. Mingmen is also can be translated as the gateway of life or heaven's gate. And we drop that pelvis like the bowl of our pelvis. We tilt it forward just a tiny bit, and it opens and decompresses that gateway of life. Right? So a lot of people may suffer with the lower back pain, and this can help to alleviate that, especially when we begin earlier in our life. And just relaxing, feeling the crown, Baihui, place where 1,000 points meet, lifting us up. In the back of the neck open, the whole spine open. And now the fingers trace down over the buttocks, down the backs of the legs, and we begin to roll the spine down. Down the backs of the legs, and the palms come over the feet. Center of each palm, Lao Gong, is over the center of each foot. Yongchuan. Yongchuan means bubbling wells. And we go down and up, down and up, however you're able. Oh, like a chi pump. Down and up. Feeling how strong you are. Leaning into this strength. Mingmen connecting with blue sky. Connecting deep into the earth. Yongchuan, and bringing through the center, up the front of the legs, blessing the knees, bending the knees, dropping the tailbone. Spine rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Middle fingers finding Duchi, the navel. Crown floating up and connecting again with blue sky through Baihui. Breathing here. Allowing the arms to relax. Fully relaxing the whole body. Everything hanging from the crown. Allowing the body to sway very gently. And we say the Chinese word for relax, S-O-N-G. So relaxing and letting the body sway gently, as if hanging from a golden thread, perhaps held by an angel high above. So all the little muscles in the face, of the body, just seem to relax now. We'll take 10 breaths here. Tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. Noticing the places in the body that are ready to let go. Just a little more, everything hanging from light way of the crown. And listening to the farthest sound you can possibly hear. And this is the end of section 1. And now we'll do section 2. It's good to stay in the same flow if you can. Sometimes our bodies ask us to move or drink water, and that's also good to listen deeper. Beginning section 2, the backs of the palms float up away from the body. And the fingertips start to rise, the shoulders completely relaxed now. And the palms are facing away from the body, either side, feeling that gentle stretch. The muscles may even be completely relaxed. And the connective tissue in the arms, gently softening, supporting, allowing the shoulder blades roll towards each other and down and out. Out, in, and down, out. Palms of each hand open, open, and completely open now. The shoulder blades rolling, pushing out and moving the palms towards each other, one hand's width, and back. Close, open, close, and open. Close all the way towards each other, arms outstretched, palms facing away. Just like we did in section 1, the shoulder blades rolling like waves on the beach. As if your hands are stretching out and taking hold of 2 orbs of light far at the edges of the universes. And bringing them, guiding back into the here and now, entering the body. Stretching the palms out, moving them up, one hand's width and down. Up and down. Up and down. Lifting chi up, straight into the sky, holding this radiant light high, like the sun. And when you are ready, allow this light to pour down through the inside of the body, washing the whole body clean, clear, and bright. so that all functions are normal. Like a chi showered on the inside. Pausing fingertips at the crown. Middle fingers finding yin time between the two eyebrows. Sending chi to Yu chin, a small notch in the base of the occipital ridge, the back of the head. Tracing the fingers over the eyebrows and the ears, middle fingers find Yu chin. And press that small notch, the base of the skull. Sending chi to yin time. Very gentle, this can all be gentle. And the fingers trace down the back of the neck, reaching gently back, washing down the spine with chi. And hands come around the shoulders, sending chi up to connect with the chi you just sent down. And relaxing the arms down the back. Middle fingers press Mingmen. Send the chi to Duchi, the navel. Around, tracing, and pressing the navel, connecting with the lower dantian. Rolling the spine down, fingertips down the front of the legs, one vertebrae at a time. Down the inside of the legs. Lao Gong over Yong Chuan. Wingman up into blue sky. And bending down and up 9 times if you can. You can keep track. Down and up. Down and up like you are a chi pump. Bringing chi up from the deepest depth of the earth. And the fountain connecting up through Mingmen into blue sky. Washing through the body. From Mingmen down through into the earth again, cleansing the body. And bringing the chi from deep in the earth down around the backs of the legs. The knees are bending, the tailbone is tucking, hands over the bottom, and middle fingers pressing Mingmen, the crown lifting up into blue sky. Just breathing, tracing the fingers around to Duchi, connecting with the lower dantian. Bless you. And relaxing the whole body. Everything hanging from the crown of the head. And maybe the jaw even relaxes. Shoulders. Maybe the muscles around the pelvis. The groin, just let go now. Even the thighs, with time, they will also relax all the muscles. Swaying gently as if from that golden thread. And the chin gently tucked, opening the back of the neck. Tailbone drop, opening Mingmen. Very subtle shift, not big movements. Down. One more time. Healing occurs best when we learn to relax. We'll take 10 breaths here. Being with the lower dantian in the body and listening to that sound far, far away. Tip of the tongue, widening the space between the eyebrows. Noticing if it might be possible to stay in this space for longer. Listening to the body, perhaps drinking some water. And this is the end of section 2. And now we'll do section 3. And we begin with the palms facing up, reaching out at a diagonal, lifting up into blue sky. Holding this light high above the head, more brilliant than 1,000 suns, all the blessings of the universe swirling above you. And when you are ready, allow this light to pour down through the inside of your body, washing the whole body, clean, clear, and bright. Fingertips connecting with the crown. Long palms finding the ears for listening outside and also for listening inside. Take a moment now to listen inside the body. What is your body saying to you now? Knowing you can receive this information anytime you ask and listen. Nalgong palms facing out in front of the shoulders now. Reaching the right hand straight out from the shoulder. Scooping chi. And moving to the left. At 45 degrees, pressing zhonghui, tip of the thumb to the middle digit section of the middle finger. And the chi condenses in this bone, and we bring it around the shoulder, tracing over the shoulder, tracing to just under the collarbone. In the center, there's a small valley, chi window, and pressing here. Moving the left hand out, scooping chi to the right, zhonghui, around to chi. The chi will flow where the chi needs to go. And the in-breath, gently pressing a little bit. And the exhale, releasing a little pressure. And forming the lotus flower. Receiving chi from all the heavenly universes. Filling this blossom to overflowing with the organic ecstasy. The bliss of consciousness. Bringing this flower to your lips and drinking deeply, inhaling the sweet scent, closing the palms into her hands. Rotating the fingertips to collect the chi, storing the chi in the body and all the spaces between. And feeling blessed in this moment. Inviting that smile. And this is the end of section 3. And now we do the closing. Lifting the palms up and opening to either side, palms facing down, connecting with the earth, giving and receiving the electromagnetic fields of the planet Earth. And bringing the palms forward of the body. Middle fingers stretching out and then pointing back towards yin time. Connecting with the upper dantian, dantian of wisdom. And the elbows come back. Middle fingers pressing da bao under the armpits, connecting with the middle dantian. Good access point for the heart and emotions. It's right here. Very tender spot, da bao. You'll know it when you find it. And relaxing the arms and the hands, reaching back, reaching far and wide, embracing the biggest, most radiant orb of light you can possibly imagine. Slowly, it's condensing in your embrace, crystallizing, swirling tighter and brighter and shining hot. This light coming closer. All these blessings so potent between your palms, closer to the lower dantian. Until this swirling light is the size of a pearl at your navel and the middle fingers. Tuck this pearl deep into the lower dantian. And we say, Dantan chi is abundant. One palm over the other. Traditionally, women put the right hand over the navel, left on top, and men do the opposite. So we do what feels right for us in each moment. And we make 9 circles on the belly. And then we're going to continue rubbing the belly and patting the body to help the chi stay inside. Sacred chi, holy chi, stay in me, heal me. Sacred chi, holy Sustain me, heal me. I am surrounded by an intelligent membrane, by an invisible membrane. I am surrounded by an intelligent membrane, by an invisible membrane. Into this membrane, only love may enter. Within this membrane, only love remains. You can massage the face and the ears. And coming with the palms resting on the body, feeling the reverberation of this impact and connection of the palms to the surface of the body. Noticing the breath. Saying some kind words to yourself, in your mind or out loud. Giving thanks for the being that you are. And coming into crochet hands one last time, you can bring your feet together if that feels comfortable. Imagining before us all of our teachers, all of the people, places, circumstances that have helped you to be where you are today. Imagining some faces in front of you to symbolize all the teachers. And in a moment, we'll bow to our teachers and we'll say how la. How means good and la means already. So if you'd like to join me in saying, to all my teachers, how la. And I like to share these blessings up with all the sentient beings and all the creatures of creation, and it comes down into the earth and the mycelium, and then it comes up through the bottoms of my feet and back into my center, lower dantian, resting the hands here, and the cycle continues. How loud. And this is the end of the practice for today. Sometimes I stand here now for many minutes because I find at the very end, sometimes that's the easiest moment to access peace. Listening. Breathing. And then I realized that the thoughts have come in and I am journeying away from my body. And I say, Allah, thank you. And I thank the people in the space. And then I try to do something nice, like be in nature, journal, or drink water. Or dance to a song, especially if it's morning time where you are. Or go to sleep if it's nighttime. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching this recording, thank you for joining me, all you faces of people I love so dearly in my heart. And I will see you soon.